Hello and welcome back to Volume 2 of Weird Old Shows and Cartoons. The Reckoning, Dawn of Justice, Civil War, Electric Boogaloo. Last time I got the feeling you guys maybe liked the first part, so I took it as a clear indicator that this format was worth keeping up. So once again, we'll be taking a look at some more of those old shows I didn't get to cover last time, from all sorts of channels, genres, and countries, with the only link between them being that you probably forgot about them. You all know the drill by now, so let's just get straight to it. First and most least, we have Trapped, a children's game show from the UK that ran from 2007 to 2010. And I'm gonna be totally upfront with you, this is definitely the weirdest one in this video. I would be very surprised if I managed to find anything stranger than this. Maybe the Slammer or some shit, I don't know. Trapped is hosted by this guy, referred to only as the Caretaker, who has to probably be the most disgusting thing I've ever seen since the last time I saw a mirror.
For the love of leeches, do not creep up on me like that. Creep up on me like this.
Actually, you know what? How do I leave? The general gist of this show, as told to us through rhyme in the intro, is that a bunch of unwilling kids are like transported through their TV somehow and sent to a tower in which they have to gradually descend in order to escape. They're forced to complete a random challenge on each floor in order to earn their freedom, though only one is able to make it out while the rest are trapped to be eaten by this guy or some shit. Sounds like a pretty fun time for everyone involved. You know, it does sound more cost effective than hiring a babysitter. And you best believe that as a kid, I was 100% convinced this was all real and not at all concerned with the fact that not a single news channel thought to mention the absence of like 8 kids being frequently kidnapped every week. Nice of them to provide name tags for their hostages though. The kids partaking in the challenges were referred to as unfortunates, which is just what I normally call kids. They're each given what's called a whisper clip, which are used for the best part of the show.
Emmy, do not react. You are the saboteur.
For every challenge, one of the kids is tasked with being the saboteur, and their job is to ensure the team screws up the challenge without getting caught. I know for a fact that I would make for the worst saboteur of all time. I have no idea how these kids do it.
Do not react. You are the saboteur.
Holy fuck, I'm the what? Wait, what am I meant to do? Hey guys, how's everyone doing? Don't mind me.
You can do this by convincing them to feed the seeds to
Is
the
anyone else hearing that?
head. I will tell you, it is your job to ensure your team fails.
Wait, sorry, can you speak up? It's kind of hard to hear. Guys, can you just be quiet for a minute? I'm trying to listen. In this episode, our group of unfortunates includes
Daisy, Tyrone, Emmy, Connor, and Dick, Bethan, George.
all my bets are on George. He looks like he's got this. To demonstrate how the challenges work, they use this guy, who they claim is a kid who was trapped in the tower 100 years prior. He looks like he's loving life, I gotta say.
This is the part I loves best. I know who it is, you know who it is, but the rest of them don't.
After the challenge is over, regardless of whether they succeeded or failed thanks to the saboteur's efforts, the kids then have to vote for who they think the one working against them was. And whoever receives the majority vote is stuck there forever, even if it wasn't actually them. And it is endlessly funny watching a bunch of young children falsely accusing each other of being the saboteur.
Your time is up. You have failed miserably.
Yeah, get used to that, kids.
Tyrone, who do you think the saboteur was and why?
I think it was Emmy.
Tyrone is too smart for this shit.
Emmy.
I think it was Daisy because I saw her suck up 2 yellow spiders.
Oh yeah, that'll throw him off. Good one.
I think it was Daisy because I saw her. I also think it was Daisy. Daisy.
You have voted for Daisy.
Daisy is getting absolutely slammed by these guys.
Daisy, you will not be leaving this room. The saboteur was, in fact, Emmy.
See, you fucks, it wasn't even me! Now you've doomed me to an eternal fate! I'll see you all in hell! Also, I swear I remember the show looking a lot more convincing than just a high school attempt at a haunted house with some cobwebs thrown around the place. But hey, I guess that's what the suspension of disbelief does to you. If we skip a few challenges ahead, we make it to the final floor, which is a trivia game in which the unfortunates are tasked with remembering what happened during the previous rounds, which means they had to be paying a hell of a lot more attention than anyone watching probably has.
Connor, in Snake Attack, how many good holes did Tyrone put his hand into?
And then by the end of it, one kid gets to go back home to their family, who is probably wondering where the hell their child went for half an hour, while the others are condemned to an unrelenting hell. Yay! So basically, the moral of this show is that you should trust no one and never rely on anyone, because they could secretly be a saboteur trying to screw everything up for you. Yeah, that sounds about right. RWBY Gloom is the show that made goth culture cool. This was all animated in Flash, which at times is fairly obvious, but I love the show's overall art style and character designs. They all look super unique, even if I'm sure in any other style they would look absolutely horrifying. RWBY Gloom's main appeal is its cast of very strange characters, like the skeleton dude who's voiced by Dan from Bakugan.
I'm an artist, Ruby. It's in my bones. My name is Dan, and together with my friends Runo...
The best character though is Misery, because she is a big mood.
Oh, hello, Misery.
I hate the rain. Bad things happen to me when it rains.
Well, look on the bright side, Misery. Bad things happen to you when it doesn't rain.
She is precious.
My cousin was struck by lightning. Twice.
It couldn't possibly happen to you, too. What are the chances?
It's pretty funny at times. I'm surprised at how well this one holds up compared to a lot of the other shows I've watched.
I wish I knew what happened that day. If only we could...
What really happened that day?
I feel like I didn't appreciate this one enough at the time. This is one of those shows that centered entirely around the interactions of the cast and them just getting up to random crap, which is awesome because all the characters are pretty damn great.
Bon voyage! Happy May Day! Bon voyage! Happy May Day!
Apparently RWBY Gloom's developed like a cult fan base ever since it ended, so count me the heck in. Sadly, this one lasted only 40 episodes. Ha! Get it? Because it spells lose? League of Super Evil is a Canadian animated series that ran for 52 episodes, about a group of aspiring supervillains trying and failing repeatedly to enact terror on the town they live in, but are always thwarted by other villains, heroes, or sometimes just themselves.
No! Wait!
This team includes Voltar, the very young leader of the group who is really trying his best here, guys.
Oh yeah? Well, we're not leaving until you give us back our uncatchable Destructo Disc of Doom!
Dr. Frog, like the only competent one out of all of them.
Nobody in their right mind is gonna eat something that looks and smells like that!
Red Menace is the moral support who we should all aspire to be as positive about life as, and Doomageddon is just vibing, bro. The fast pace and humor was more than enough to entertain my stupid child self, but I don't know, I must be getting old because now it's just a lot of yelling and loud noises. Kinda like my channel. This is a very strange show now that I watch it back.
My puppy will defeat you all!
It's unfortunately got that classic kids cartoon focus on potty humor though, which of course I am way past by now.
It is known as Fully Aggressive Recreational Tournament Syndrome, or FARTS.
Farts. The creators of Lose also did this other show called Rated A for Awesome, which was trying about as hard as Voltar to be cool. That is to say,
time to awesomeize!
Way too much. Much like RWBY Gloom, it's more about the characters finding themselves in trouble and then watching them scramble to get out of it. And in that respect, it kind of reminds me of shows like Invader Zim. I mean, both have MCs that are super tiny with very high-pitched voices that are attempting to be a lot more diabolical than they're actually capable of. Except, one is definitely better than the other. I'll give you a hint. It's the one without the fart joke.
You have been bad little puppies!
What in the fuck? The Numberjacks. Okay, I lied. It wasn't me who watched this one. It was actually my brother, and I just tagged along sometimes. Lol, imagine actually learning. Every single one of the main characters in this are just numbers with eyes and a mouth. I can't even imagine how long that would have taken them to come up with. Okay, guys, I'm back. Now, I know you guys fired me ever since last time. Oh god, not this shit again. Shut the fuck up, Craig. I had this idea for a show about numbers, but wait for it. Get out. This used a combination of 3D animation for the titular Numberjacks while everything else was filmed in live action. Like their base, for example, which is just some guy's couch. I know you're in there, you son of a bitch!
I'm going to...
You're going to what?
Sorry, Fort. I'm not feeling too good.
Okay, no, I take it back. This is already too much for me to handle. This is like a whole nother level of Uncanny Valley. Ugh. The Numberjacks occasionally had to deal with a group of bad guys who would randomly appear at times called the Meanies, who were more often than not responsible for causing the problems they had to solve.
Now, this is a strange thing to...
These included the Problem Blob, the Puzzler, the Spooky Spoon, the Number Taker, and the Shape Japer. All of which sound like weird sex things.
Hello. Agent 58 here.
What's happening?
Things are going wrong.
Thank you so much, Agent 58. You are an invaluable asset to our cause. What will we do without you?
The boy looks alright.
Yes, but the trouble is, he can't stop.
So, as you can see, they only deal with the most pressing of issues. When they deploy themselves into the outside world, they can only land on corresponding numbers they can find, which seems like a very inefficient system, but hey, whatever works, I guess.
Another person with problems, and he can't stop either. Oh no, it isn't. The problem's spreading.
Looks a bit bad.
Turns out the source of the problem is this giant disgusting blob thing, which I'm going to assume is the problem blob based on my options. The way they put a stop to him is just by shooting him with a laser, which I think you'll find is a solution to most problems. This went on for another 65 episodes, which once again is longer than such shows as Spectacular Spider-Man, Transformers Animated, Symbionic Titan, Vader Zim, Kim Possible, Danny Phantom, Roary the Racing Car, Roary, he's a really fast car. Lightning McQueen, you better get the fuck out of the way, because he hasn't heard of my boy Roary. Roary the Racing Car is a British stop-motion show that's basically just Thomas the Tank Engine for kids who have the attention span of a butterfly on crack. So instead of this, you get, whoa, Roary, look at him go, holy shit! The stop-motion style definitely works a lot better when using the character designs of having vehicles with eyes on them that's basically been done to death at this point, which is usually done with CG. I'm looking at you, JJ the Jet Plane. Sometimes they do switch to traditional 3D animation for the segments it's easier to animate for though, most notably the races. Oh god. The main characters are all cars of different nationalities, with the titular Roary being the youngest with a dream of being the greatest racer of all time, a goal that is still rather far away. There are some human characters as well, with the major one being Big Chris. Big Chris. Also, there's a talking rabbit for some reason. Look, the talking cars I can get behind, but this is too much, guys. And his job is to basically cause trouble for our cast and occasionally nearly kill Roary.
Are you sure this is a good idea, Flash?
Nothing can possibly go wrong.
Uh-oh. Why do they still allow him near the racetrack? Though originating in the UK, they did eventually bring Roary over to the States. And they changed the theme song for some reason, so it sounds less British.
Roary the Racing Car! Roary the Racing Car!
Why? Next up we have Lunar Jim, which is, as politely as I can put it, the shit. The easiest way that I can explain this one to you is that it's essentially just Postman Pat on the moon, in that our hero, Lunar Jim, is the only person who keeps things running smoothly because everyone around him is so goddamn useless. Why is this man wearing a beanie in space?
What are you going to do with my vine? Save the moon, of course.
I love how casually he says it, like this shit is just a regular Saturday for him. Every episode would see a random problem arising and Jim having to choose one of his many sweet-ass space vehicles to handle it with. And I thought these were just the coolest shit back in the day. Along with the other citizens of the moon, Jim is also accompanied by a dog named Rover. And this robot dude who always reminded me a lot of C-3PO. And he may as well be 3PO because they treat him about as well.
Percy is my other middle name.
Jim's catchphrase is, "Let's get lunar!" which is now what I'm going to shout whenever I want to get out of an awkward conversation. Unlike a lot of the other shows that were tragically cut short, Lunar Jim went on for a staggering 92 episodes. And boy did they definitely keep the good ideas coming as the show went on. Episode 89, Ted hits his head on the mail hatch door. That's it. That's the whole thing.
The universe is an amazing place. Have a look, fella. Who knows what we'll discover tomorrow?
Probably just more of the moon though, since that's the only place the animators will ever let us go.
Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Big Blue House!
And last but not least, the sweetest and most wholesome show in this video, Bear in the Big Blue House. This one was obviously aimed at much younger kids, but watching this one was always like getting a big warm hug, even if I was sometimes scared the bear would eat me.
Welcome to the Blue House.
This show ran from 1997 to 2006. Jeez, we did not get the fuck out of this house. I found Bear as charming as shows like Blue's Clues, both of which I have very faint memories dropping everything to watch whenever they came on. Except when he did that. Okay, is it possible to be scared of something but also kind of find it adorable and want to hug it at the same time?
It's you!
Oh shit, yeah.
Ooh, tell me, do you have your pajamas on?
No.
Cause you smell like clean pajamas.
I don't know what you think pajamas smell like, man. I smell like shit.
Sleepovers are fun. would you like to join us?
Only if you promise not to eat me. The house is populated by a bunch of Bear's friends, most of whom fill the episodes with things to keep Bear occupied. As well as that, there were also segments where kids were involved to answer some questions.
What do you do just before you go to bed?
We take a bath. I brush my teeth and floss them.
I think about the futility of life and the inescapable void that is death.
Oh, sure, I can give you a hug.
God, I wish that were me. Plus, there's frequent musical segments where you get to listen to Bear serenade you with his sweet, sweet voice.
Where is Shadow? Where is Shadow?
Where's that damn fourth chaos?
There's also a talking moon with a face called Luna. I like to think that the Sun Baby from Teletubbies and Luna are mortal enemies locked in some sort of eternal struggle. The episodes were all capped off with a goodbye duet from Bear and Luna, which, let's be honest, was always the highlight.
Goodbye, goodbye, good friends, goodbye. And tomorrow just like today.
I'm just saying, Bear would beat the shit out of Barney the Dinosaur in a fight.
This is one bear who wishes you sweet dreams whenever you go to sleep. I'll see you the next time you wake up.
And that's about all we can do for this time. Once again, I hope this was a trip down memory lane for you. As with always, please be sure to let me know of what other shows I missed, because believe me when I say I still have enough to cover another, 5 videos. And with that, I guess I'll see you guys in the next video. You see, what I got out of all of this is that I really want to see a Trapped spin-off, but it's set in the Big Blue House.